Hello, I'm Donna Mackey, and I'm a longtime Black resident of Sun Prairie. My family and I moved here in 1989. We moved from Northern Virginia to Sun Prairie. That's after looking at over 35 houses in Madison area. We finally decided to settle here in Sun Prairie. Sun Prairie. One of the things that you may not know about me and my family is that despite the fact that we've had 17 moves, 27 years, we decided to settle here in Sun Prairie. We were actually, when we came here looking for a home to buy, we were taken to Madison. And Sun Prairie wasn't even mentioned. And because the person that my husband was replacing at the National Guard lived in Sun Prairie, my two children, my daughter was in college and my son in high school, and myself, we called him. We had come here looking for a house, and we called this family, and they said, and we told them we were having difficulty trying to find a place to live that was close to my husband's work. If anyone knows about the East Coast, especially the Washington, D.C. area, the commuting is terrible. And this particular colonel, he said, well, I take 12 minutes to get to work. And I live in Sun Prairie. And when we came here, we visited him that evening, and he showed us around Sun Prairie. And the next day, even though we were staying in a hotel, we asked our realtor to take us to Sun Prairie to look for homes. Now, I will tell you, we had seen maybe about 35, 40 houses that weekend, mostly on the west side of Madison. And we were told that it only took 35 minutes to get from any place in Madison to the east side of Madison. We know that's not true anymore. So when we came, we asked to come here, we drove around and we saw an area that the homes were being built. They're brand new. And it was in Stonehaven. And we asked the realtor if we could go and look at some of these homes. And he said they weren't on his list. And we insisted anyway on seeing this particular home. It had a 3-car garage. It sat on a corner. It wasn't really that far from where my husband was going to be working. And my children and I got out of the car. We walked in, and the builder was still there. And he was still building the inside of the house, and he welcomed us. And we felt very welcoming because of this. And he showed us all around the house, told us all about it. That evening, after we had dinner and we didn't have the realtor, we came back to that particular house, and we noticed as we drove up that there were people all in this garage. It was a huge garage. People were all in there, and we said, oh my goodness, what's going on? And the realtor saw us as we drove up, and he welcomed us to come in. And when we came in, he introduced us to all the neighbors. They were having a get-together in the garage. And he says, this is going to be your neighbors when you buy this house. We felt so welcome that we came back to the hotel that evening, called my husband, who was at the Pentagon, and said, we found the house we want. It met all the criteria. You could park your boat because my husband loves to bass fish. And my son is happy because all the land is flat and he doesn't have a hill like in Virginia to have to mow. I said, but the neighbors are so welcoming, and we feel very welcoming even though we didn't see any other Black people around. I say this, Sun Prairie, because I want you to know that how you greet people when they move here makes a big difference. That was 32 years ago. I still love Sun Prairie.